To shift focus now away from Bangladesh onto Pakistan, where the political landscape is, well, rapidly spiraling into deeper uncertainty as the once promising talks between the opposition, that's Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, and the coalition government have officially collapsed. The leader of opposition, Omar Ayub Khan, delivered a stark message on Saturday, declaring that the chapter of talks is now closed. His statement marks the end of the fragile dialogue that had started in December after months of political turmoil following Imran Khan's arrest and imprisonment. Despite 3 rounds of talks, no tangible progress has been made, and PTI is now accusing the government of lacking both goodwill and commitment to talks. PTI's withdrawal from further discussions came after the government failed to form a judicial commission to probe the 9th of May riots and the violent protests that took place in November 2024. What happens going forward when it comes to Pakistan? There's not just uncertainty, but there are also serious questions about whether Pakistan can navigate this storm without further destabilizing whatever is left of its political landscape. Let's get in Imtiaz Gul joining me from Pakistan to talk more about this. And we have Mr. Rajiv Dogra, former ambassador and former consul general to Karachi, joining me. In fact, thank you so much, gentlemen, for taking out the time. Mr. Gul, let me start with you, sir. How do you see this fresh face-off between PTI and Sharif government?
Well, actually, it's a face-off between Pakistan's security establishment and Imran Khan. Very often, some critics call it a contest of egos between Imran Khan and the army chief, General Asim Munir. Having said that, I think the context between, or we can call it the logjam between the two at the moment. Both sides are sticking to their basic stated position. Imran Khan has written 2 open letters to the army chief saying that he loves the army, he likes the army as the guardian of Pakistan's frontiers, but that the army should confine its role to the constitutional duty as described in the Constitution of Pakistan. And he's also demanding abolition of cases that were registered against him, as well as a score of party leaders, and the release of political prisoners, including a cancer survivor, the 73-year-old Dr. Yasmin Rashid, who has been languishing in the Lahore jail since August 2023. So these are fundamental issues. Of course, one is also about the electoral fraud that Imran Khan says basically was unprecedented, and it stole the mandate, people's mandate, away from PTI.
Okay.
And what we have at the moment right now is a party that hardly had 15 to 20 seats, but was put in charge of the country's political governance.
Okay, Rajiv Dogra, before I come to the fact that how's India viewing this, as someone who spent so much time in Pakistan, how do you see this situation? Do you see this increasing in terms of turmoil and uncertainty, given that it's now pretty much come down to street fights deciding who will next govern Pakistan?
Well, Mr. Imtiaz Gul would certainly know much better than I do, because he's an experienced journalist. But I do recall that in political circles and journalistic circles in Pakistan, they used to say that March is the Shakespearean Ides of March for Pakistan's politics. So we are approaching March, and if that formula is correct, then I think we'll see more turbulence. But let's come to Imran Khan for a moment, because that is your topic. I sometimes get the feeling that Imran Khan has still not got over his cricketing days. He thinks that he's still the captain. Pakistan is a vast cricketing ground for him, and everyone who is assembled there is the spectator that must cheer to every move he makes, even if it is the most outrageous move, whether he is in government or now in opposition and in jail. He feels that he is the commander-in-chief of that cricket field, and no one can contradict him. Unfortunately, there are other politicians who are equally, if not much more experienced, and they feel that now, since they are running the government in Pakistan, they should have their say and full liberty to govern Pakistan as they feel fit. Coming to Imran Khan's current complaint with the army chief that elections were not fair and so on, well, Imran Khan himself is said to have come in with the blessings of the army and their hand on the ballot box.
Okay.
So you cannot have double standards, but that is what Imran Khan
is. That how? Okay, hold your thought there, sir. Let me get an Imtiaz Gul on that. Hold your thought there, sir. On the double standard part that you said, Mr. Gul, how do you read this?
Well, I mean, I think partially these are the comments which are sort of belittling Imran Khan's honesty. He has been very reckless as a prime minister, but that doesn't take away the honesty and compassion, the national spirit from him. And as for the double standards, I think never before in the history of Pakistan was an election stolen the way it has been. And the largest electoral watchdog, Fafin, just came out with a report coinciding with the 8th February, the day when elections were held in 2024, that there were 230 plus different methods deployed to manipulate, falsify the results, and that's why almost everybody in this country says.
You know, that's the. I get what you're saying, Mr. Gul. That's the backdrop and the background to why things have escalated the way they have. It's going to be almost a year. In fact, it's been a year since that election and that stolen mandate, so to say. But a year after these protests that have only intensified and Imran Khan's popularity hasn't been dented, do you see this establishment versus Imran Khan face-off impacting Pakistani society and politics in the long term? And how do you see this ending?
Well, I think as Pakistanis, we are all very concerned that this face-off is impacting Pakistan's politics, Pakistan's economy, with the minimal credibility of the present government and little political stability. So, you know, there is a huge disconnect between the state institutions and the public at large, particularly those who support Imran Khan. So that's why we as Pakistanis only wish that somebody has to blink in the current situation while addressing the fundamental issues, and that is the stolen mandate as well as the bogus, lot of bogus cases that have been registered, instituted against Imran Khan and his leaders.
Mr. Dogra, would you like to come in there, sir? Quick closing comments.
Well, I started with the Ides of March, and I hold my view that, these points, counterpoints in politics in Pakistan and elsewhere in the world are par for the course. And especially in case of Pakistan, it becomes even more acute because there are very extreme divergent opinions and vested interests. Which country, for example, would have tolerated the kind of protests and the kind of almost extreme violence against its own army, as had happened through Imran Khan's
No, there was no extreme violence against the army. Sorry, this is a misnomer.
That is one of the principal reasons why he has this confrontation with the army. So I think that whether one is pro Imran Khan or against Imran Khan, we must face the facts that there is a limit which you should not cross even if you are a popular politician. And Imran Khan consistently has crossed those limits.
Indeed, he has. On that note, gentlemen, thank you so much for speaking to me on India Global. Well, viewers, the bottom line into how things are unfolding in Pakistan is that Imran Khan is playing a high-stakes game, refusing the Sharif government's call for talks. He's convinced that his grip on streets will translate into political power. At least that's the hope. With institutions clumbering, Khan argues the government hasn't even set up a commission for negotiations. He's betting on momentum, and of course, he's also hoping that his old ally Trump is back in the game. But the fact is, military isn't bowing out easily. Expect more showdowns, more chaos, and more protests that could spiral out of control. This political battle is far from over, and no one knows who blinks first.